Have you ever wondered what would happen when someone who has lived their whole life in a safe but quiet system suddenly tastes the flavor of breakthrough? The media always paints a picture of a chaotic America, but what is the truth?
The cost of living in the UK was completely out of control, and that's why we left. We left nearly 3 years ago because as two full-time working parents was not enough for us to sustain the life that we had.
It is basically impossible to live a good life in the UK now.
The best in Europe are quietly packing their bags. They are leaving the ancient cities to go to the sunny and windy states of America. Why? Could it be that they realize the European welfare cage is draining their youth and ability to accumulate? Today's video will peel back the layers of the European social welfare concept. We will together answer the question: would you prefer a smooth life but unable to get rich, or a risky environment but with unlimited growth potential? Let's get started, everyone! Looking at this first case study, I guarantee the office workers will be blown away.
So, and I was in the top earners in Spain. Like, I was making 53,000 euros a year. That is equivalent to like what, around 60K? That is like top 5% earners in Spain. Like, I am not even joking. Like, I'm not even trying to flex. Like, that's literally how the situation is. It's comfort/space. So Texas is big.
Did you hear that number clearly? A salary of 53,000 euros a year in Spain is enough to place you in the top 5% of the highest earners in the country. Sounds impressive, right? But when converted to the labor market in Texas, that number is only equivalent to about $60,000, which is exactly the basic salary of a fresh graduate just stepping out with a university degree. In Europe, she does a more stressful and demanding job, but her income is capped by a very low ceiling. With the same abilities and the same number of hours dedicated, but placed in two different economies, the financial results return as if from two completely separate worlds. This is a crucial psychological key that few people will tell you about: the income flatline trap. Let's compare. In England, the after-tax salary is around £2,000. Subtracting the rent of about £1,000, transportation, bills, and food of £900, there is £100 left for beer. What about in the US? The income ceiling is expanded, allowing people to accumulate and invest. Escape velocity. To be fair, the welfare model in many European countries is excellent if you want a peaceful, low-risk life. But in return, the exorbitantly high progressive tax policy will level out all efforts to break through. You work 3 times harder than your colleagues, take on a mountain of projects, but after deducting taxes and social contribution funds, the amount actually credited to your account is sometimes only about 10 to 15% more than what an average worker receives. It creates an invisible sense of exhaustion. It's like you're cycling on a treadmill. No matter how fast you pedal, your position remains the same. In personal finance, the ability to accumulate wealth beyond living expenses is called escape velocity. In Europe, the pull of costs and taxes is too strong, making it very difficult for young people to achieve this speed to accumulate wealth.
Can't live in the UK anymore, and here's why. Okay, so this scenario is based on 2 working parents, maybe 1 kid, 2 kids. Let's go with 1 child at this stage. So I'm going to be looking at my screen because I have updated some of the numbers, but essentially you've got around £3,400 coming in.
This woman shared that she and her husband earn a considerable amount each month. However, by the end of the month, all that money disappears. And that is perhaps the common reality for many European families today. Earning £5,000 or £10,000 a month in the UK is already a very high income. But the cost of living structure in major cities is like an automatic vacuum cleaner. The more your income increases, the more fixed costs and taxes expand to suck up that extra money. Many people in England think they are stressed because of the gloomy, grey weather all year round. But the truth is they are stuck in an endless loop, working 9 to 5, getting paid, paying rent, paying bills, running out of money, and then having to go back to work. You don't have enough extra money to take a long trip, nor do you have the time to truly enjoy life. Financial freedom is reduced to just a pint of beer at the pub on a Friday night. To be fair and realistic, in Europe, the system will ensure you have a safety net so you never fall to the bottom. But at the same time, it also puts up a glass ceiling so you never fly too high. You can live a very peaceful life, with few ups and downs, But achieving a financial breakthrough or accumulating significant wealth for the next generation is an extremely challenging problem. Coming to America, that ceiling was removed. The income ceiling is much more open. The gap between the money you earn and the money you have to spend is wide enough for you to save, invest, and build your own future. If you find these practical financial analyses resonate with your own concerns, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Your small interactions are the biggest motivation for me to continue making more quality analysis videos like this every week. But salary and financial accumulation are only half the story. Have you ever wondered, what is it about American infrastructure and lifestyle that can make someone willing to leave their homeland, abandon the familiar, and start anew on the other side of the globe? How indulgent is the convenience in America?
Ich bin jetzt hier bei der Bank in einem Drive-Thru, wo ich mein Geld anscheinend auf mein Konto laden kann, Leute. Habe ich auch noch nie gesehen, dass es nicht einfach so Automaten gibt, sondern dass man da durchfahren muss. Amerika einfach. Ich habe echt keinen Plan, wie das geht. Ich denke, man fährt hier einfach so. Okay. Okay, Leute, ich glaube, es funktioniert. Ich habe da jetzt das Geld rein. Mal schauen, ob's funktioniert.
Do you see? No need to go into the bank to process transactions. This guy just needs to sit far away and he can still get the money. That's not all. Watch this next part. It's even more impressive.
I heard you sold the Amazon to show the country that.
What? I ask a medium size. That's medium.
Ma che medium? Madonna! My entire family can drink from here for 1 month. So this is a medium size?
Yeah.
Madonna
We're in
Santa!
Texas. Everything is bigger.
Ma also,
Indeed, the culture of free refills never runs dry. In Europe, if you order an extra soft drink or a second glass of ice, the bill automatically adds a few euros, pounds. In the US, the staff appear every 5 minutes like beverage guardian angels, asking if you want a refill. No wonder everyone is astonished. Europeans before coming to America often hold the prejudice that Americans are very lazy, doing everything through drive-thrus and sitting in their cars all day. At first glance, it seems like laziness. But when they actually live and experience it there, they suddenly realize it's not laziness. It's a mindset that respects personal time and a philosophy of a frictionless life. Frictionless life! The U.S. designs the entire urban infrastructure and services around the goal of minimizing bulkiness and reducing all friction in people's daily experiences. Refueling saves 5 minutes. Buying medicine or withdrawing cash at the drive-thru saves 10 minutes. Food and drinks are prepared super quickly and served attentively at the table. Each small step being shortened by 5-10 minutes may not seem like much, but when you multiply it by 365 days in a year, that system is giving you back hundreds of hours of free time each year to do the things you truly love. Not stopping there, this pampering also strikes at the emotional factor. Look at this French girl. In Paris, she never had any feelings for the local supermarket chains. But when she moved to New York, whenever she felt stressed or pressured, she would buy a cup of coffee and stroll around the Target or Costco supermarket. She jokingly calls it her daily anti-depression therapy. The spacious shopping environment, the attentive customer service, and the warm inquiries from the cashiers create a feeling of being cared for and cherished. That is the concept of retail therapy, which is extremely characteristic of America. To be honest with you, once you get used to this level of meticulous care and convenience, going back to a place where you have to queue for everything and deal with cumbersome tasks will create a significant sense of disconnection. Convenience is like a soft drug. It makes your daily life much lighter and less stressful. What do you all think about this interesting contrast? If you find this series of new perspectives interesting and relaxing, don't forget to hit the like button on the video and share it with your friends. Your support helps the YouTube algorithm spread this video to more people. If you could choose a place to live for yourself, would you prefer the slow-paced, traditional lifestyle with many procedures in Europe, or the convenience, speed, and absolute time optimization of America? Please comment your perspective right below, and I'll scroll through to read and discuss with everyone. But hey, comfort or money is just the surface. Wanting to set foot in America and stay for a long time is a completely different story. A very harsh legal wall awaits ahead. How did they overcome that arduous challenge? Let's continue watching. Now we have to face the truth, everyone. America may be dazzling, but there's no red carpet rolled out for everyone. To reach that dream, the price to pay can sometimes be extremely heavy. Let's take a look at the story of a young person from Canada, a neighboring country, sharing the same language and having a trade agreement with the US.
I've actually had 4 different visas, 3 TNs, and now I have my E2. For my TN visas, my work or employer actually sponsored those, and they were only ever for a year, which was really stressful. And then I actually sponsored myself for the entrepreneur visa, which is the E2. That was a crazy process. It was about a year and a half of applying and then waiting to see if it was going to be approved or not. I actually had to invest a serious amount of capital into the US to be able to have the entrepreneurial visa. The reason why the E2 is so scary is that the US government wants to make sure that you're putting so much money at risk that you have something to lose even if you don't get it, which seems so backwards.
The Canadian girl shares her stressful experience of working in the US. She has held 4 different types of visas, 3 TN visas and 1 E2 entrepreneur visa. The TN visa is only valid for 1 year, which means every year she lives with the anxiety of not knowing if she will be forced to return the following year, signing a lease for an apartment and renting a car in the US while always feeling anxious. When applying for the E2 visa, she spent a year and a half waiting and had to accept investing a large amount of money into the US economy. She emphasized that the E2 regulation requires you to put a large amount of capital at risk so that you have something to lose for the government to consider your application. Do you see the harshness? Even a Canadian citizen whom we thought could cross the US border as easily as going to the market had to struggle through 4 different visas. Living in the US without permanent residency is like building a beautiful house on a piece of land you rent for 12 months. Every 365 days, you have to gather documents and anxiously wait for the immigration agency's decision. Want to do business under an E2 visa? You have to invest your own money first, take the risk of losing everything before they will even consider it. There is no pampering here. Many people often complain that the US immigration policy is so cumbersome and complicated. But from a practical perspective, the entire US visa system operates like an extremely rigorous gym. It is designed to filter out who is truly capable, who is genuinely persistent, and who is ready to contribute to their economy. So the question arises, if applying directly is too difficult, how have smart young Europeans managed? They use a strategy that I jokingly call the Trojan horse in the recruitment village, internal transfer strategy. Step 1. Engineers or specialists in the UK and Germany wouldn't be foolish enough to apply directly from Europe to the US because the competition ratio is too low. They will move to work at offices in London or Frankfurt for multinational corporations headquartered in the US. Step 2. They excel in departments that directly generate revenue, such as sales, tech, or product. When they become key personnel that the corporation cannot do without, the company will handle the internal transfer procedures to branches in New York, California, or Texas. At this point, the American company will take care of all the legal procedures for them. You are no longer a stranger applying for a job, but an important asset being deployed by the corporation. A very smart move, right? At this point, I know many of you will wonder, why do they have to suffer like that? Why do they accept sacrificing the peaceful stability at home to come to America and endure the pressure of paperwork and annual worries like that? The short answer is, because the reward on the other side of the fence is more than worth it. When you overcome that barrier, the ceiling for personal development in the US is almost limitless. You are compensated according to your abilities, live in a dynamic environment, and have the opportunity to completely change your family's financial status. Seeing that breakthrough potential, the hardships of administrative procedures are just endurance tests. If you admire the perseverance of those young people who dare to step out of their comfort zones, give the video a like and hit the subscribe button to continue analyzing fascinating socioeconomic topics with me. But guys, the factor that keeps Europeans in the US after overcoming procedural barriers is not just about the numbers on the paycheck or physical convenience. It lies in something much deeper. Porch culture and the strange warmth among strangers in America. What is it in the American mindset and lifestyle that makes distant guests feel that this is truly home? Hey everyone. We've talked a lot about job opportunities, salaries, and amenities already. But if that's all there is, it still doesn't explain why so many Europeans, once they set foot in America, feel like they never want to go back home. There is a very simple emotion, but it touches them deeply. Two Australian girls recounted that once they absent-mindedly walked into a Waffle House, asking the staff whether they needed to take a menu or where to sit. When it was time to pay, the waitress unexpectedly informed them that their meal had been fully paid for by a family sitting at the table across from them. They quietly settled the bill and sent a simple message through the staff. "Welcome to America," the two girls exclaimed with emotion. "Back home in Australia, this only happens in movies or TikTok videos." Americans are really the kindest strangers. Do you find it cute? Just a small act. Not at all ostentatious, not filmed for social media, but it completely dispels the feeling of alienation for the foreign guests. That's not all! A young Englishman stood outside, looking at the houses with wide porches. He lamented with a tone of nostalgia. In England, the terraced houses are tightly joined together in a row. We don't have porches. But when I came to America, the feeling of sitting on the porch at 5 or 6 p.m., listening to the birds chirping, watching the sunset, and holding a glass of iced tea or a cold beer, that is truly paradise. I miss the porch so much and wish I could bring it back to England. Listening to this friend's story really makes me feel for him. You see, sometimes the thing that keeps us grounded isn't something too profound, but simply a peaceful space to breathe after work hours. Here, I want to delve a bit deeper from a socio-psychological perspective. First, let's talk about living space, spatial freedom. Many ancient European cities have a very high building density, with houses closely packed together. That creates a sense of history, but inadvertently narrows the private breathing space of each individual. The porch in American architecture is not just a few square meters of wood in front of the door, folks. In spatial psychology, it represents a buffer zone connecting the privacy of the family with the open space of the community. It is a place where you can sit leisurely watching the rain, sipping a cup of tea, and waving to the neighbor passing by. It gives people a sense of belonging to a place, allowing them to slow down and enjoy nature right in their own home. Secondly, we need to decode what is called fake friendliness that the media often attributes to Americans. Europeans often mockingly say, "Americans are always saying, 'Hi, how are you?' and always smiling and talking, but it's just superficial politeness. Yes, they might not become your confidant right away, but put yourself in the shoes of an expatriate, feeling lonely in a new country. Entering the store, the cashier cheerfully asks how your day is going. Walking down the street, a stranger suddenly complimented your shirt, smiled, and continued on their way. Clearly, that gentle warmth, even if it was just a courtesy, was still much better than coldness, distance, or scrutinizing looks. In your most exhausting moments, it is the small positive energies from strangers that can be the mental remedy to save your entire day. The image of a cold, money-obsessed America completely shatters when you directly experience and feel their hospitality. The openness of the heart, warm hugs, and spontaneous acts of kindness are the glue that binds distant souls together. If these warm stories of hospitality make you feel more positive about life, please leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the next great content. Your companionship is a great joy for me. So, after all the pieces from the salary, convenience, visa pressure to the warm porches, what is the most comprehensive answer to this silent wave of migration? What does America offer that the European welfare system has inadvertently overlooked? So we have gone through a long journey together with a full range of perspectives. From the shocks of salary differences, the conveniences, to the astonishments in daily life, to the harsh challenges of the visa wall and the strange warmth among strangers in America. At this point, I want to make it very clear, this video is not at all about determining whether America is better than Europe or Europe is worse than America in a one-dimensional black and white manner. Each economy, each social model is designed to serve completely different target groups. Europe offers you a safety board. It is a solid social safety net where you can live a smooth, less turbulent life with guaranteed basic needs without worrying too much about extreme risks. But in return, the ceiling on your development and the ability to accumulate wealth will be significantly reduced. The US, offers you the opportunity board. It is a risk-accepting environment where the safety net may be thinner, competition is fiercer, but the ceiling for financial and career growth is infinitely high, where your abilities and perseverance are directly translated into numbers that can change the status of an entire generation. The silent wave of migration of young people and the intellectual elite from Europe to America is the clearest evidence of a psychological economic law. When people have passed the stage of mere survival, when basic safety has become a given, they will begin to crave breakthroughs, desire to challenge themselves, and seek the freedom to shape their own futures. The media can create biases, social networks can ignite controversies, but salaries in real numbers do not lie, and those numbers have spoken for themselves. Now, the most important question is for you, the audience, sitting in front of the screen. If you had the opportunity to choose the path for your future or your families, would you choose to step into the safe cage of Europe for peace? Or would you choose to venture into the land of opportunity in America to seek financial breakthrough? Please leave your thoughts, opinions, or personal experiences right below in the comments section. I believe that each of your perspectives will make this discussion much more multifaceted and valuable. If you find today's video offers fresh perspectives, in-depth analysis, and valuable insights, don't forget to hit the like button and share this video with friends and family. Click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell icon so you don't miss any in-depth socioeconomic analysis videos next week. Your support is the greatest motivation for the team to continue producing high-quality content. This video is based on publicly available information, data, reaction clips, and a comprehensive socioeconomic analysis perspective. The content of the video is for reference, educational, and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial investment advice, legal advice, or personal immigration advice. Our channel respects YouTube's community guidelines and does not attack or belittle any country, institution, or organization. Thank you all very much for staying with me until these last moments. Goodbye, and see you all in the next video.